Hey everyone, Caffeine Man here, and today we are going over Monster Rehab. These drinks came out nearly a decade ago. I'm just getting to them now. Shows you how far behind I am on my reviews. Hello again everyone, thank you so much for joining me today, and if you want to stay informed on all things caffeine related, feel free to hit the subscribe button. I post new videos every Tuesday night with bonus videos, usually on the weekends. And in today's video, we're going over Monster Rehab. I'm going to give you a little history behind Monster Rehab, since like I said, it's about a decade old. There's a lot to go over, and then I'll jump into a taste test of all the flavors that I found. Timestamps and chapters down below, so you can go where you want to go. In 2011, Monster decided it was going to jump in on the energy tea game. I was definitely semi-excited because I'm a big fan of tea. Back then, I was drinking a lot of Lipton iced tea, Nest tea, and even the Arizona tea. Especially the Arizona tea, as well as the occasional hot tea. Being someone who enjoyed energy drinks occasionally, in addition to iced teas, I was curious how these Monster iced teas were going to be. I wasn't a huge fan of many of the Monster flavors at the time, but I decided I was going to give it a try. Their original line of the Rehab teas was lemon flavor. They also had a green tea, an orangeade, and a Rojo tea. And although I'm not a huge fan of lemon in my drinks, I was getting used to the iced teas that already had a little bit of lemon in their drinks, so I was definitely going to pick up the lemon one. Green tea at the time, wasn't really a fan of it in general. As for the Rojo is actually based off of rooibos tea, which is an extremely healthy tea, and some would say it even rivals the healthiness in green tea. But we won't get into those tea debates right now. If you want to actually learn more about tea, I actually did a 3-part tea talk series when my channel came out. So if you're a new subscriber to my channel and you like tea as well, feel free to check out my tea talk series. Therefore, out of those 4 flavors, I picked up the lemon tea and I picked up the Rojo tea. Tried them both out, didn't like them. Not much of a surprise to me though, because I went in with low expectations because I just really hadn't found any Monster products that I liked as of that time. The trend continued. But don't get me wrong, a lot of you like to think that I'm a big Monster hater, but hey, I gave them a shot after trying their first few drinks and didn't like it, and I didn't like these. And I'm not the only one who didn't like those flavors. They ended up discontinuing the green tea as well as the Rojo tea. The lemon and the orange survived. Given that those 2 flavors were successful, they actually decided to release a pink lemonade, but that also ended up getting discontinued. As iced teas continued to get more and more popular through the years, raspberry and peach were really starting to make a hit on the market. Since those iced teas were gaining traction, in 2015, Monster decided they were going to come out with their raspberry and their peach Rehab, and both of those are still on the line today. That makes there a grand total of 4 Rehab drinks: the lemon, the peach, the raspberry, and the orange. Unfortunately, I only have 3 of the flavors today because none of the convenience stores near me actually carry the orange. But that's okay because I'm interested to try out the 2 newest ones, for 2015 being new. And I'm curious if Monster can impress me with these drinks because as of lately, a lot of their new drinks have been impressing me. I've been a big fan of their new Ultras as well as a few other drinks in their lines. So I'm excited to give these a shot. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the nutrition facts panel and some of the ingredients. These Rehab teas are actually fairly healthy, which is great considering it's a tea. They only have 25 calories, 0 fat, 230 milligrams of sodium, only 7 carbs, with 3 of those carbs coming from added sugar. So these are definitely going to be better than your Arizonas, your Nest teas, and your Liptons because all of those have a decent amount more sugar, which is why I stopped drinking them. These Rehabs, only 3 grams of sugar. For your vitamins, you're going to get 2% of your daily value of calcium, 2% of your potassium, 240% of your niacin, your B3, 480% of your B12, 390% of your B5, 4% phosphorus, and 6% magnesium. Interesting to note, these do have coconut in them. And it also uses brewed black tea solids, so it is actually tea in here. It's also got your regular Monster ingredients, including L-carnitine, L-tartrate, but also has some acai puree, goji berry puree, and mangosteen concentrate, which will help up make that 5% juice listed right above the nutrition facts panel. And these drinks are sweetened with a little bit of glucose, a decent amount of sucralose, I'm sure, as well as some ACE-K, some inositol, and of course, maybe a little bit of sweetness from those juices as well. Unlike their regular line, which has 160 milligrams of caffeine, and their Ultra line, which has a little bit less than 160 milligrams of caffeine, these Rehab teas have 170 milligrams of caffeine because tea has a little bit of caffeine in it, so they're giving you a little bit more caffeine in these Rehabs. It makes sense, right? Going with it. Let's taste them out. Just gonna go ahead and grab them from my campus protein fridge, and you can save 10% off your entire order using coupon code CaffeineMan10. And Campus Protein actually just started carrying some of the Monster products, so you can find the Monster Ultra as well as some of the Monster Hydro Sports. In theory, of course, because we just actually had a really big Black Friday sale and a Cyber Monday sale, and I'm pretty sure most of that stuff gets sold out. But if you're watching this on the replay, many weeks, many months, many years. Years. I could have many years later. It's possible. Then they could finally be restocked, hopefully. And the first one up we are going to start with is the original one. It says lemonade on there. I was calling it lemon, so I guess it's kind of like one of those half and halves, half tea, half lemonade, potentially. Straighten out the can, please. Thank you. Also says to shake gently. The last time I shook gently was in my Monster Java video, and that proceeded to spill all over me. So we shall shake gently, and then we shall wait. Some people say you can tap on the side. Some people say you can tap on the top. I'm just gonna wait, because I don't like being sprayed with energy drinks, at least on video. Hold a little further away, maybe. We're good. And of course, I completely forgot until I just opened it and poured it that these are not carbonated. A plus in my book, because I'm a fan of low carbonation drinks and no carbonation drinks. I mean, all those iced teas I had before didn't have carbonation in them. And a decent amount of the energy drink teas do have carbonation in them. Let's see how this one goes when we taste it out. All right, well, I'm making lots of faces here. Obviously, there's no carbonation to talk about, and the sweetness is it's a medium to high sweetness. It's doing its job for sweetness there. Monster's usually giving you a high sweetness in most of their drinks, and this is closing in on that medium high. It's a high sweetness, and yeah, it's let me just put it this way: it's doing its job because it's giving you some tea. And it's also giving you that lemon in there, and it's actually lemonade. And that was probably my problem the first time I had it, is that I was expecting an iced tea flavor with a little bit of lemon, but it's actually a lemonade flavor. So they are giving you tea, they are giving you some lemonade in there. I'm not a huge fan of it, but they are doing their job and giving you what they're giving you. And that flavor profile, it's actually, I would say, a medium to medium high flavor profile. All that being said, I think it's an okay drink. I'll actually compare it on the Caffeine Man rating chart to some of the other energy teas that I've had, and I think that this is competitive with those. I know Bang had come out with a whole line, and I thought that those were okay, but there will be some carbonated ones on the chart too, because like I said, most of the ones I reviewed are carbonated. So let's go ahead, let's put this on the Caffeine Man rating chart. I'm gonna give this a 7.6. I think it's pretty good, and I do think it's doing its job, but it's not really a flavor for me, which is why I don't have it up in the 8s. Moving on to the next one. Next up, we are gonna be going for the raspberry tea. To the best of my knowledge, raspberry was the first flavor tea that they came out with, or at least from the Nest teas and the Lipton teas, raspberry was one of the first ones. I know there is a peach tea that I'm going to be doing next, and peach tea has been popular in lots of places, like the South and everything, but it wasn't really mass produced. So raspberry was the first one to come out as a flavor for the iced teas, and then it was the peach. So we're going to go with the raspberry next, because I'm a huge fan of most of those raspberry teas, and I haven't actually tried this one yet. Gotta get those tea solids that settle to the bottom. Don't want anything to get in the way of the flavor. And also, because these are different flavors, the juices that they use are gonna be a little bit different in the ingredients. And this one, the raspberry one, has a little bit more sugar, at 5 grams of sugar. Carbohydrates are still at 7. There we go, nice tea color, and it looks like they didn't put any artificial colors in here too, which is great. I'm really happy that these drinks are a healthy tea, extremely low in sugar, no artificial colors. Let's taste it out. All right, here we go. That sweetness is also a medium to high sweetness. I think they might have been able to go a little bit higher in the sweetness potentially. I remember some of the other raspberry teas that I used to have were a bit sweeter, but like I said, those did actually use a lot of sugar in them, so I'm guessing they don't want it to taste too artificial by putting too much sucralose in there. So you're getting a medium to high sweetness out of here, and the flavor profile, I'm going to be sticking with a medium to high flavor profile. It's got a great tea flavor. I would say it actually has your standard tea flavor. Most of those iced teas that you get in the cans, because there are lots and lots of different teas out there that taste a lot of different ways. So I'm referring to your standard iced tea flavor that you get in most of your common iced tea drinks, like the Liptons, like the Nesteas. And then you're getting that raspberry flavor in there, and I would like a little bit more raspberry flavor out of it, but it is still not a bad drink. I am actually impressed with it. I like it. This one's okay now. I'm not sure if I'd pick it up in the store, but if I was really craving an iced tea and needed the energy, this might be a competitor. Therefore, on the Caffeine Man rating chart, I am going to give this a solid 8.0. Moving on to the peach. Last one up is the peach. I also like what they did with the graphics on here. They put like a little bit of like a little explosion, maybe it's a cloud, or maybe it's a burst, whatever it is. It helps give it some style. And for the colors, they did a good job with the colors as well. They made the yellow ones yellow, the raspberry kind of raspberry-ish, and the peach is kind of a peach color. It's a little bit pinkish to me, but it's kind of a pinkish peach color. Let's taste it out after I do this, but I'll jump cut it out. And for those interested, this has 4 grams of sugar in it. All right, they got me. They got me. They got a good one here. I'm a big fan of my peach energy drink, so if they're going to give me a solid peach flavor, we're going to have a successful one here. And they didn't give me enough of that raspberry flavor, but first, let me go with that sweetness. We're getting medium to high sweetness closing in on. You know what? It's just slightly peeking over that medium to high sweetness, and it's hitting that high level, but it's really on the low end of the high level. So you're getting a sweet drink out of here, you're getting a sweet peach, and the flavor profile, I am also going to say is crossing that threshold. It's not that medium to high. I'm going to say it's a high flavor profile on that really low end of the high flavor profile, but still, it doesn't matter. It's high sweetness, high flavor profile, and let's go over how it tastes. I'm a fan of it, as you can tell. I'm getting excited. I don't know why. Let me get into what I think about it besides just saying it's good. It's giving you that standard iced tea flavor, but that standard iced tea flavor is actually going away just a little bit, being pulled back because it's a nice solid peach flavor. They're giving you a decent amount of it. They didn't give you enough in the raspberry. I was hoping for just a little bit more, but they gave you enough in here. Would I say they could give you even more peach? I think if they gave you a little more peach in here, it might be too much peach. So I think they're giving you a good amount of peach flavor in here, really complementing that tea flavor really well, and it's the sweetest one out of the 3 of them. So, where's it going to be going on the Caffeine Man rating chart? It's a good question. Where is it going to be going on the Caffeine Man rating chart? In order to answer that question, I need to finish up this little bit that's there. And then I got to put the cup down. Alright, Caffeine Man rating chart. This has been tough because I've been sitting here thinking about it for a while. And I gotta say, if I'm going for it, I am actually gonna give this an 8.9. It's a really, really good flavor. And I'm actually gonna, I don't remember all of them, but I'm pretty sure, put them up there on the Caffeine Man rating chart. I want to see all of my iced tea. I don't know if I can fit them all up there. I'm going to try my best. But I want to look at all those iced teas because I am fairly confident that that is the highest rating I've given an iced tea for an energy tea. I think the last one before that, I believe it was actually the Rockstar tea that they had, the Rockstar Peach Tea, nonetheless. I think this is actually a little bit better than that Rockstar Peach Tea. So all that being said, going into this review, I wasn't sure what to expect from the Monster Rehab. I remember not liking them very much, but like I said, I always give you guys an honest review. I'm glad I went back and reviewed them because Caffeine Man is saying that Monster Rehab Peach Tea might be one of the best energy teas that I've tried so far. And the reason for that is, I mean, there are other ones that are really healthy out there that got decent scores, but I think what's making it good is that it's actually a good sweetness. I believe the G Fuel had a really nice sweetness, but it was a regular flavor with a little bit of lemon. I don't really like that little bit of lemon, but it still was a good G Fuel flavor. And the bangs were, I thought, were just a little bit too artificial, a little bit too generic, but I think Monster hit the nail on the head, getting you a good iced tea flavor with a nice solid peach flavor as well. I'm actually going to drink that for the rest of the day. I hope they don't discontinue it. Everyone go out and buy the Monster Rehab peach flavored. They discontinue so many drinks because they come out with so many. I got to end this review. There you have it. After just about a decade, I've reviewed all the Rehabs, even though most of them got discontinued, so I didn't review them. I've reviewed 3 of the 4 Rehabs that they have. 2 of them were okay. One of them I thought was really great. I hope you enjoyed this review. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of these 3 flavor teas or these 4 flavor teas, because I know most of you have probably already had them because they've been out for so long. Let me know what your favorite is. Thank you so much for joining me today. Until next time, have yourselves a great day. Or night. But it also has some puree. But it also has some acai puree, goji berry puree, goji berry puree. What's a puree? Goji berry puree. Goji berry puree. Goji berry puree. Got it that time. Words you don't say often. Who says goji berry puree? Let's keep going. And of course, I completely forgot until just now that these are not carbonated. Carbonated? Am I from Boston? Let's try it again.